Good afternoon. My name is Diana Gruberg, and I am the Landscape Director at Gowanus Canal Conservancy.
My name is Jordan Hayden, and I'm the Engagement Manager at Gowanus Canal Conservancy.
My name is Joanne Zhao, and I am the Youth Stewardship Manager and Nursery Coordinator at Gowanus Canal Conservancy.
My name is Anthony Pimentel. I'm a Green Team Senior Apprentice at Gowanus Canal Conservancy.
My name is Madison Myers, and I'm a Green Team Senior Apprentice with Gowanus Canal Conservancy.
I'm Andrea Parker, Executive Director of Gowanus Canal Conservancy.
Since 2010, we have headquartered community stewardship, education for local students, and a native plant nursery at the BK6 salt lot, the proposed site for the Owl's Head CSO tank. While we support this proposed critical infrastructure to reduce CSO into the canal, we implore the city to commit and follow through on our three asks. 1, communicate effectively and regularly with site occupants.
2, provide support for upcoming relocation.
And 3, produce a final site design that keeps the salt lot the eco-industrial heart of Gowanus.
Over the last decade, we have planted thousands of native plants in demonstration gardens and restoration areas at the salt lot and the 2nd Avenue Street End Garden, which is right adjacent to the site. This restoration work has yielded the most biodiverse site along the Gowanus Canal, where for the first time in over a century, you can now find salt marsh grasses, supporting a community of mussels and crabs, reasserting the 400 acres of salt marsh that once existed here. Today on site, the 17,000 square feet of native ecosystems and public spaces found at the salt lot collectively manage all of the site's stormwater, while providing habitat for marine life, shorebirds, invertebrates, and small mammals. The city will be required to provide restoration under a likely natural resource damages assessment associated with the Super Fund. But this investment could get directed off-site to places like Jamaica Bay if there are no local options. So the city must commit to keep these dollars and this habitat here in Gowanus by dedicating a portion of this site for restoration of the critical habitat that we have lost already and will continue to lose, again with this project. The city must commit to include in the long-term site design biodiverse plantings, soft waterfront edges, and a large-scale intertidal marsh installation integrated into public space. The health of our ecosystem depends on this.
In the last 10 years, GCC has hosted over 5,000 local K-12 students on the salt lot for field trips to learn about environmental issues and potential solutions in Gowanus. Students test the water quality to investigate the impacts of combined sewer overflow and learn about gray and green infrastructure. They also propagate native plants to explore local ecosystems and biodiversity. These education opportunities engage local students and their families and the critical environmental issues facing Gowanus, and help build the next generation of environmental advocates. The future site design should include space and support for a new facility for experiential, science, and design-based learning for local students. Additionally, site design should include a comprehensive interpretation plan for the Owl's Head CSO Facility, including signage, urban watershed models, and demonstration green infrastructure. Our next generation of environmental stewards depends on this.
I manage paid youth in presences who grew up in Gowanus and Brooklyn area and introduce them and integrate them into our work at GCC. Our site is where local youth can come experience and see the cycle of life for plants, animals, insects, and the seasons. I grew up in Brooklyn and never dreamed of working in horticulture and public green space because I rarely saw it, let alone experienced it. Some local youth I interviewed for the paid environmental stewardship apprenticeship have never worked with plants and soil before.
The salt lot was the first place I had received a job, and I ended up coming back a second year because I loved my experience the first time around, and I just wanted to help even more. Growing up in the city, there was trash almost everywhere, and there were people littering and smoking and driving, messing up the entire ecosystem. The amount of buildings that are being built is leaving little to no room for green space, and without green space, there's no healthy air for people to breathe. The Gowanus Canal Conservancy and our home at the salt lot is a necessity to the place we call New York City. But work such as maintenance, taking care of street trees, in addition to visiting different places within the city, has taught me a lot.
My experience with Gowanus Canal Conservancy working at the salt lot has been incredible. I joined the GCC team in the summer of 2020. It was my first job as a sophomore in high school. I just saw it as a way to get paid at first. But to my surprise, I ended up loving it. I was able to meet new people and learn new things. This program is important because it can give other youth an opportunity to help their community and also learn about it. Growing up in Brooklyn, I was never exposed to green spaces that much. I never noticed how many different types of plants there were and what they do for us. If I would have never worked for GCC, I would probably still be clueless. Without GCC and our home base at the Salt Lot, I wouldn't have learned all the things I've learned and experienced the things I've experienced. I also wouldn't have been connected to the environment before.
GCC deserves to be a part of the city's plans because of how much work we have put into taking care of the city and the people around it. Finally, I would like to thank GCC for helping me throughout my time being a part of the team and taking this next step in my life going into college.
In terms of where we stand now, we will need the city to provide a temporary site by the end of this year when site work begins, or youth program will not be able to continue. We need the site to foster current and future youth with budding green thumbs and a passion for a healthy living planet and environment.
And I just want to say, as my colleagues have noted, we definitely support this critical infrastructure to reduce CSO, and we really do appreciate the work that the agencies have done so far in terms of collaborating with us. What we're asking for here today is a commitment, a long-term commitment to this collaboration that will really last through the actual final site design and implementation. We have seen that DEP can create excellent public space in the Newtown Creek Nature Walk. Similarly, the agency should take this opportunity to integrate beautiful, immersive, educational, and ecologically productive public space into this critical infrastructure. This should include restoring the outdoor classrooms and demonstration gardens that currently exist, as well as investing in a much larger salt marsh restoration to continue fostering environmental awareness in our next generation. It should restore water access at 2nd Avenue and create an ADA accessible boat launch in the 6th Street turning basin to ensure the canal is accessible to all. And it should consider and create space for 2 potential pedestrian bridges across the canal to connect residents and students from the new development to the west and north to this incredible public amenity. We really do appreciate the efforts the agencies have made to work with us over the past 10 years and in planning for this coming transition. And we look forward to collaborating with the city over the coming years to advocate for a process and site design that address community needs. We ask today that you ensure that future administrations and agency staff continue to take and deepen a collaborative approach by requiring these commitments to public space, restoration, access, and community outreach as part of this ULIP approval. Thank you.